Ah, so you've come to me for advice, eh? Well, that was the worst mistake of your life. I don't know what I'm doing either. In all serious, today we'll be talking about textures and hopefully help you find your palette. Today will be a teaching moment, and now disclaimer, I am in no way, shape, or form the president of texturing, okay? I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like I said, I'm kind of lost in the category, but I'm sharing what I've learned from building a lot. So basically these are all my tips and I'm just sharing it with you guys. You see? I'm passing on my knowledge. So yeah. If you're new here, hi, my name is Luvbug, but you could call me Love for short. And without further ado, let's get into textures. So if you've ever watched the network HGTV, you know that they are mainly shows about building, finding people homes, and all that fun stuff.
This boring backyard was redesigned into not one, but 4 outdoor living spaces.
Most of my knowledge of interior designs come from watching that network, and I'm able to apply them to the Bloxburg universe. So to start this off, first off, what is a texture? So according to Google, it is the feel, appearance, or consistency of a surface or substance. For example, a marble countertop. It's smooth, you don't feel any lumps, and then you have a teddy bear, soft and cuddly. And then you have concrete. It's rough and sometimes bumpy. But basically, when you texture in Bloxburg, it shows how you want the item or object to be seen IRL. So as you can see, I have 2 examples over here. I have 2 oval armchairs here, and this one I did with planks, and then I did this one with cozy fabric. Now with planks, as you can see, the chair doesn't look really soft. It looks more structured. It's not really meant to be comfortable, more for the aesthetic and eye pleasing. You are welcome to sit in it. And then you have this one over here that's more of soft and more of a comfortable chair. It all depends on what you're building and what you're going for. So when you texture to what the atmosphere you want. That's just one example. Now we have this metal planters, and I'm gonna leave one metal because it's a metal planter, and I'm gonna make the other one planks, the long planks. The metal planter, it's metal, so it would be solid and unbreakable or something like that. But what I'm saying is it keeps everything on the inside, and it's more of just a solid planter. And then you have this one. It's kind of like a woven basket. That's what I use this material mainly for when I put it on like household objects, and other than the floor, I just make it like a woven basket. Here is a little tip. So before we got the square baskets in storage, I used to use large pots as baskets, and basically what I did was I made them the color of this planter here, and that's how I used to do my baskets. If you didn't know that, well, now you do. So you have alternatives if you don't really want to use this basket. Oh, storage cube. If you don't want to use the storage cube. Just a little tip, but that's the example. This is like a woven basket, and this is, well, a regular metal planter. And some may say it's just a game, why does it matter? But Bloxburg is technically a building game, and there are people who build for accuracy and not just to live in for the moment. Everybody has their own reason for playing Bloxburg. Personally, I enjoy building, not so much role playing, but building is my go-to, and it's therapeutic. Texturing is best to make spaces seem warm and inviting. Obviously, you add textures and patterns to your floors, your counters, and your chairs, but there are other areas where you should start texturing, such as the ceiling, your picture frames, your curtains, and your flooring. So I have 2 setups over here, one with texture and one without. And technically the one without texture, there's already texture, but what I'm talking about is more of like environment similarities. So this is kind of plain is what I'm talking about. When you first purchase a chair, it looks like this with this green color, but it's very flat and it's smooth plastic. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's plastic. Then you have the table. There's a texture on the table. I will give it that. There is texture on the table. The carpet, there's definitely texture. And I put floor in the wall. But if you put the colors to the environment so that they combine smoothly, probably change the color. I'll do a color video next time, but we're just talking on textures right now. You'd probably go for like a classic carpet, a cozy fabric, or you can go for the regular fabric if you're going soft. This is really if you're going soft. You could even use slate, twisted wood. You can use all those. You could even use the bark. Personally, I wouldn't use it, but you can. And then I already added the texture to the curved ottoman. The curtains, I did the textures on the curtains already. But this is my personal favorite when it comes to windows because it highlights the curve in the original product. I take this game very seriously. Then the carpet, you can leave the texture on the carpet. I would just honestly change the color. You see what texture can do? This area looks warmer already. Like, it's a little bit open and warmer. I will say that. The window here, I do like the window placement, but that's just an example. You see the difference? Before and after. Before and after. And when I say texture your flooring, here's what I mean. So you combine two different textures together to create another textured floor. So here's my example. So I put down 3 squares. The first one is going to have one texture, the second one's going to have another, and then we're going to combine them on the third one. Yes. So for the first one, let's do something simple. Let's keep it simple. Let's do slate. The trick with this is that you have to keep them the same color, but you can change the material. So we did slate for the first one, and maybe we want to go polka dot. So they're the same color. Now let's just combine them. I'm gonna make this the third flooring polka dot. And now I'm going to copy this first flooring, put it over the polka dot. And when you get close up, it's a slate polka dot. That's what I mean. I'll do another example for you guys. All right, so here's the second one. Let's have a little bit of fun with this one. Let's do diagonal stripe, the vertical stripe. So now we're gonna combine them. And now you have like a new pattern on your flooring. Look at that. You combine these two and now you have a new textured pattern. But these are just the two that you can do. I should have changed the color. I'll do one more with different color. Okay, so let's change the color. Let's do the pastel blue. I'll make it overlapping circles. Let's do that. Bubbles. Overlapping circles and bubbles. I'm gonna put these together. And then you have overlapping circles and bubbles together. But like I said, you just gotta make sure that they're the same color, but you can change the material. This only works on flooring so far that I've seen, so have at it. So this can be hard for me to teach you, as this part depends on your build and what you plan on doing with each material, but I've simplified the textures down to 4 simple categories, such as smooth, cushiony, hard surface, or rough. I will be doing a separate video for coloring. I've laid out all textures, well, not all of them, but I've laid out a couple of them to their respective category. And honestly, some are subjective, like twisted wood. Personally, I say that it's soft, but it's technically a hard surface because it's supposed to be wood. But the appeal and the look of it, it looks kind of soft. So that's why I put it in this one. But let's go down the line here. So for the first section, which is smooth, I was thinking more of wallpapers and paintings that typically have a smooth flat surface. So you probably use the polka dots for your wall, or this flooring tile, smooth. Typically this flooring tile is pretty smooth. And then this is metal. Metal is solid, but it is also smooth. And then we have the overlapping circles. It's smooth. It's smooth. Like I said, typically for wallpapers are flooring. And then we have cushiony and softer materials. I'm talking about looks and not necessarily the name. So this is cozy fabric. It's cozy fabric. It's in the name, but it also looks pretty cozy and fabricy. Some people say that it's an ugly material. I am some people. I'm not even gonna joke. I am some people. So it's not a pretty material. But this next one is, personally, this is my favorite one. I would consider this one like faux fur. I'm saying it right? Faux fur. It's not fox. I used to say fox. Anyways, let's get back onto what I was saying. So this is twisted wood. Highly recommend using that. And then we have the stone lines. Doesn't really look stony to me. It looks more soft. So I put that on a chair, and I mean, agree to disagree, but it looks pretty comfy to me. I'd sit in that all day. And then we have, what is this? Herringbone tile. I don't know. It reminds me of a blanket. Again, it's subjective. A lot of this is really subjective. I personally see it as soft. Like, I'd put that on a chair too. It all depends. It all depends. Moving on down the line, here we have our hard surfaces. So a marble countertop, or outside backyard patio, or your house flooring. These would be the materials for that. And I put a little strip down here, and then marble countertops. Have you guys ever touched a marble countertop? They're pretty smooth. And last out of all these categories is rough. I mean, metal plate, diamond plate. That's what this is called, a diamond plate. It reminds me of Among Us, and you commonly see these on like stairs with grip. This is like a substitute for metal walls. It's just a little bit rougher. So this is definitely a rough material. And then we have slate. People use it for rocks. So making rocks in Bloxburg. Like, here we go. Let's put some grass on top here. And let's match the colors on the picture. As you can see, it creates like a rock, and it shows roughness and hard and difficult to climb. That's an example of what you can do with rough textures. And then, you know, pebbles. Personally, an individual pebble is smooth, but when you put them all together, it is a bad bumpy road. 0 out of 10, -12. Would not recommend you drive on there. Terrible, bad. I can explain it. It can cause injuries. And then last but not least, we have bark. We have bark. I mean, if you've ever touched a tree, it's not a smooth surface. I mean, it's not a smooth surface. Can we just all agree that it's not smooth? Closest thing to bark that's smooth is a piece of paper. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But these are just the things that you can actually do with each texture and their category. So I hope you learned something today. Ooh, and here's the front of my house. This is what the front of my house looks like. Some have been asking. That's what it looks like. There's a large tree out front to block the haters. I hope you have learned something here today. If you found this video helpful, maybe consider sharing it with a friend, relative, or a goldfish. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification for when I upload. And as I always say, stay frosty, my butterbeans. Bye!